Beloved family, I want to appreciate you and to thank you for being so patient and waiting and always supporting your channel. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. Welcome, Blue Train family. We are strong and we are standing and we are never bowing down to the pressure of the enemy. The freedom of the Zimbabwean people is what we stand for. And we are declaring it in this season because this is the season of its manifestation. Wherever you are watching us from, welcome to Live with Chatufa. We are live and talking about issues that are happening in the nation as we continue to see the season of exposure still happening, more and more things being exposed in the nation. ZANU-PF becoming even more vulnerable by each day. So for those that are joining us for the very first time, I would want to encourage them to subscribe, to like, to share, hit the bell so you can continue to receive information each time that we are live on the show. Otherwise, I salute all the change champions that are here and even the intercessors that are all here on the show. Welcome, welcome. We are looking at yet the failures of ZANU-PF that we continue to see happening in the nation as the Mnangagwa government fails to fund basic education beneficiaries, citing lack of funds. This is really an embarrassment. It is an embarrassment to ZANU-PF. I don't know, it is so pathetic what is happening in the nation. The kind of government that we have in our country is very, very pathetic. You can ask yourself, what is it that this government will ever be able to do? When we look at them, really, what is it that this Mnangagwa government, this pseudo second republic is doing in Zimbabwe? Because it seems nothing is working. No ministry is functioning. Everything is at a standstill. And when we look at that, do we ever call that a government? Can even those that support ZANU-PF even look at this and they say they have a government in place? Remember, this is the basic education fund that ZANU-PF has been funding. The government has been funding, in fact, for those children, school-going children that are underprivileged, and they were chosen, and these underprivileged children are paid for by this fund. I'm sure many people do understand this fund, but it is so surprising to find that schools have not received funds from ZANU-PF government, and the government is citing that they don't have money. So there's a report from the Newsday, and we just want to acknowledge them. And they are saying here, government has revealed that the Basic Education Assistance Module BEAM program is experiencing delays due to a shortfall in allocated funds being released by the Finance, Economic Development and Investment Promotion Ministry. Just imagine the embarrassment that government itself fails to pay school fees for those beneficiaries of BEAM. And these are beneficiaries that are coming from families that are very, very poor. And schools have not received the funding. So if are schools going to chase away the children that they have not paid, chase them to go and report or collect the fees from who? We know at school, when we used to have some of our colleagues sent away from school, they will be sent to the parents to go and ask for school fees. So this time around, what will school do? What will schools do? Do they have to chase the children and say, go to Mnangagwa or to MTHULI and get the school fees? I don't know what this is going to be and what this means to us. But as we are looking at this issue, we are actually asking ourselves, where is ZANU-PF putting the money that is supposed to be benefiting sectors like this education sector, where they are supposed to take care of these school children? And when you look at the mismanagement of funds, the level of mismanagement, you remember, family, I've always been saying there is no ministry that is functional in the government of Mnangagwa. Nothing. Because MTHULI, when he came with that budget, remember, he never allocated funds to any ministry. Instead, he came to introduce taxes. And I've always been saying the Mnangagwa government is a broke government. They don't have money. The money that they have is money that they steal from all the sectors, from the mines and all the revenue that is collected, but it's going into private individual pockets. This is where the problem is. with this evil government that is running our country. And right now, they don't have people at heart. Nobody is caring to look at the situation with the children. That's children who are the future of Zimbabwe, who are the generation that is going to take over the nation tomorrow. They are ignored by a heartless government, a government that has no empathy, a government that has no mandate to run that country. And they are failing to fund such important basic needs that are needed in the country. So what is going to happen? What is ZANU-PF doing right now? What is Mnangagwa doing? Is this what he's talking about, that he says he wants to go to 2030? Is this why ZANU-PF is making all that noise and say Mnangagwa is going to be there until 2030 when we are looking at a situation like this in the country? This is pathetic. This is sad. And I'm telling you, it's not every child who is enrolled within this BEAM program. This BEAM program, you'd find that at a single school, it might be having even just less than a quarter of the children that are at the school. Most students, they are paid for by their own parents. So it's not really a very big amount of money when it comes in, when we talk about government funding. It's not really anything that MTHULI could stand up to say government does not have money to do that. It's only what is not there is the will. There is no willpower. There is no will for them to do. They don't care. They don't have the people of Zimbabwe at heart. And this is why they are neglecting the education system. Look at what is happening. Teachers are not paid. And yet they are so strong when they come to talk about examination fees. You remember recently, just some few weeks ago, they were talking about grade 7 examination fees. And they were saying parents could start paying for those fees when children are in grade 6, and they can be paying in installments until they finish. Just look, why should we be paying for a grade 7 certificate? A grade 7 certificate that does not even enable anybody to go anywhere, that can never even be used as a certificate for any kind of employment or whatsoever. Why should we be paying for a grade 7 certificate? Why should people be paying for a Form 2 JC certificate? For what reason? Even that O-level certificate, it's not supposed to be paid for, because people are paying school fees, parents are paying school fees, and government is using the same teachers again as examiners. They are the same teachers that mark those exams. Government was supposed to pay teachers, those teachers that are going for marking only. They are writing the exams right from their schools, the same classrooms, the same desks is where they write their examinations. It's not like when children are writing A-level or O-level, they will go to write it from Sheraton Hotel or something like that. It's done right at that old, ugly school with those broken desks. That's where the exams are written by the same teachers being invigilators there, and also the same teachers being the ones that mark those exam papers. So why does this evil government need any money whatsoever for exam fees? When it comes to marking, they just have to pay teachers. Simple. Because I don't see the reason why they are doing this. But I've always been saying that ZANU-PF has taken a stance that they want to destroy the education system. They've seen that Mugabe had educated a lot of Zimbabweans. And Mnangagwa has realized that educated people are difficult to deal with. They're difficult to oppress just as easy as that. They know their rights and things like that. So he wants to keep, rather to generate a new generation of uneducated Zimbabweans. And ZANU-PF thinks that when they keep manufacture in generations of uneducated Zimbabweans, they'll be easy to control them, they'll be easy to oppress them. Remember, Mnangagwa is preparing right now to have his children taking over, one taking over as the army general, the other one taking over as the president, the other one is the minister of finance. They've already been placed, and all others that have been placed in other places and that are not very influential as of now. But he's preparing that dynasty for himself. This is why he wants to push on, so that he can allow the time to have his son rise in the ranks of the army, and to have this other one who is in the Ministry of Finance maybe rise up to the point of being minister or something like that, while he's grooming the big brother Emerson, who is going to be taking over as president. But that's a pipe dream. He's just thinking like a dictator, because all dictators think foolishly. So he's just being foolish in his mind and his plans. Those plans are not going to manifest. They are not going to work at all. But that is what he's looking at. So this is why he says he's planning to say, just destroy the education system, keep people uneducated, keep Zimbabweans uneducated and are uninformed, so that my people, when they come over as a dynasty, they can be running the country while leading people that are not problematic. Because educated people are not easy to oppress. Educated people are problematic to ZANU-PF and dictatorships. So this is what is happening, and it is a very sad development. Very, very sad development. ZANU-PF is milking the riches of Zimbabwe. ZANU-PF is taking money that belongs to the citizens of Zimbabwe, but they want to turn back again and tell the nation that they don't have money to pay for school children that are coming from poor families. Just imagine. We are not even talking about the hunger. The BEAM does not supply food in the schools for those families, the children that are coming from families that are underprivileged. What if they were providing even food in the schools? Were they going to manage that, as we see happening in other countries? Go to Botswana, go to South Africa, you find that schools are providing food for children. Children are given milk in the schools, like it used to be during the time of Ian Smith in Zimbabwe. Children are given food, they are given meat, they eat meat, beef at school, in these schools, and they are given milk to drink at break time. But in Zimbabwe, it's not even happening. ZANU-PF is failing just to pay that fees, whether it can be $20 per term or $15, whatever it is, just that for a single child. They are failing to do that, and not for all of them, for that matter. And these are the people who want to force themselves to continue to run the country when they are demonstrating to the whole world that they failed to do this. You wonder why MTHULI is still there. What is it doing in that office? He's just there for cosmetic purposes, just to say there is a minister there in that office. Yet that office is not operating anyway. It's not helping out. There is nothing whatsoever that they are doing for the benefit of the masses of Zimbabwe. And it's painful. It's so sad that this is the kind of country that we have drifted into because of this poor and clueless government of Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF. This is why we are saying, family, we need to continue to demand for freedom. Zimbabwe must be freed from this clueless government. Zimbabweans need freedom from these, hypocrites and these heartless people that are sitting in positions of power. We need Zimbabwe to be free. Zimbabweans deserve better. The education system of Zimbabwe, it needs caring leaders that look at education as a requirement, as a basic need for each and every citizen of Zimbabwe. But unfortunately, we are being ruled through an iron fist, where somebody does not care what is happening to our children, what is happening to the future of the generations that are coming, that are supposed to be taking Zimbabwe to the next level. It's sad when you see a whole government that does not prioritize education in this time of the generations, and in this season of a global world and an advanced world that we are living in today. This global village we live today is a global village of people that are educated, people that have gone to school, people that are literate, computer literate, people that will link with technology, who are able to operate machines and robots and things like that. The same issue that we were talking about yesterday. And look at this. This is the government that we are saying we have. Shame on ZANU-PF. They want to see our children just turning into prostitutes, turning into thieves and robbers, walking around drinking Toriro and all the drugs and just perishing in the streets. This is all that they want, so they can continue to control them. When they go to them and then they start to make them do slogans and they give them $1 or money for Chibuku. This is what ZANU-PF is planning, to make sure that they pull down every citizen and every upcoming generation so they can continue to oppress the citizens of Zimbabwe. So family, we are saying as intercessors, we need to continue to pray for this country. We need, Zimbabwe really needs prayers for God's time and season to be manifested in time, in due season, as God has said and promised us that this is the season of change. We are saying we are tired of these clueless leaders. We need new leaders in Zimbabwe. We need leaders that will lead Zimbabwe into greatness. We need leaders that will prioritize the needs of the Zimbabwean people. We need a God-fearing leadership. We need a leadership that will consult the people in decision-making. We need a leadership that is accountable to the people of Zimbabwe. And all that ZANU-PF is not. This is why we say ZANU-PF must go. And it must go now. ZANU-PF must just go. We are sick and tired. Zimbabweans have come a long way. It is time that freedom must be released to the people of Zimbabwe so that we can, all sectors of government, we want to see financial sector working. We want to see the agricultural sector working. We want to see industries, factories being revived. We want to see infrastructure in Zimbabwe. We want to see the education system rising again. Our teachers regaining their integrity that the teachers used to have. Nurses must gain their integrity. Civil servants must not be mocked by people that have not even reached grade 7. What is happening in Zimbabwe? It's so pathetic, and we cannot allow that to continue to happen. So our nation needs prayer, family. Our nation needs intervention of God. Our nation needs people that stand to make sure that the plans of God for the nation of Zimbabwe is fulfilled. And it is fulfilled only when we continue rising and standing to make sure that the plans of God come to pass in the nation of Zimbabwe. We are praying and declaring that the blue train continues to move. The blue train continues to draw closer and closer to the freedom of the Zimbabwean people. So, family, this is it. This is what we had today to discuss. And I just want to hear one or two comments that are coming from the members of the family here. All right. I have some comment that is here from Poshi Angula says, good day, Chatufa family, and thanks to you, brother Chatufa, for your updates. They keep us energized. Thank you very much for also commenting and supporting. Ikanya says, hello, Chatufa family. The time is running out for these looters. Pamberi, Zimbabwe. Yes, we are never going to bow down. We are still standing to make sure that freedom comes for the nation of Zimbabwe. We want our children in school, not in the streets. Lois Morapa says, Chatufa family, the party ZANU-PF is full of lies. Thanks for the update. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the support and for standing with us. How are you, Gogo Guvea, our Gogo? Thank you very much. Says, good morning, Chatufa and family. God is on our side. Indeed, God is with us, and we are going to see the great news Zimbabwe coming through for us. Gogo Stole, thank you very much. Says, lovely day, good family of Chatufa. Shalom. Oh, shalom unto you too. June says, hello, Chatufa, the Blue Train movement. We are blessed. Indeed, we are blessed. We see things happening. We see exposure of ZANU-PF. We see failures of ZANU-PF being paraded right before all the eyes of the whole world. And this is a sign that ZANU-PF is coming to its end. Caleb Makuyan says, welcome, Chatufa family. Keep on shining. Thank you very much. We are shining, for the glory of God continues to be upon us. Let the blue train continue to roll. Support the blue train. Stand with the movement. Support the platforms that are also supporting the work, the same work. We want to see work going on, the gospel of the freedom of the Zimbabwean people going on, and that is the Watchman Uncensored at gmail.com is our email. For those that want to support the channel, please come to the email, talk to us, and we can make a way forward on how we can best reach out with this gospel to all the four corners of the world, that every Zimbabwean is supposed to receive the good news of the plans of God for the way God wants the nation to be. So Namozenika also says government rely on charity from citizens. Exactly, which is wrong. It's not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to be like that. Ngasi vana vedu vave nedzidzo yakanaka kwete kuda kuiparadza, taneta nemanyepo avo. Free our country. Indeed, we need freedom. Gogo Bwea, how are you, Gogo? She says, good afternoon, Chatufa family. God is in it. So family, this is what I had for us to discuss today. We are going to be meeting again in the next show. I think it is supposed to be around 2, somewhere there. Check, I have already put the banner on YouTube. Check the next show. We are going to be here live with Chatufa, and we are going to be discussing quite a lot of things. We are going to be discussing Songezo Shabang begging ZANU-PF for the political funding so that it is released to his faction, and we don't know whether it's going to be given to him. And we are also going to be looking at on the main program, Chatufa television production. We are going to be talking around 4:30, around 4 o'clock, I think, 4:45. Go and check again the banner. We are going to be talking about ZANU-PF being under pressure. They are so much under pressure about the issue of Starlink. Then in the evening, after 7, we are going to be again on Chatufa television production, where we are going to be looking at the religious oppression that is happening in Zimbabwe, how people are being oppressed, not only politically, but also religious oppression. So we are going to be talking about the issue of Baba Ishmael, who has finally been arrested. So there's a lot that is still ahead, and thank you very much for joining me on the show. And I would want to just thank you and appreciate you. Thank you so much, my sister Hilda, for joining us. Otherwise, family, let us meet again live with Chatufa in the next show. Just be ready. It's coming up. Otherwise, thank you so much. May the Lord continue to bless you. May he cause his face to shine upon you. May he raise his countenance upon you. Bless you and bless you mightily. I sign out. Thank you so much. Bless you.